Welcome, all of you. I am Dr. Viswakarma, Tagore National Fellow at IGNCA Bangalore under Ministry of Culture, doing research on Viswakarma craftsmanship in India. In this fine evening, we are meeting together to deliberate on the problems and aspects of the Viswakarma community, to which we are all belonging. We, the Viswakarmas, consisting of 5 subgroups of occupational nobility, namely the ironsmiths, the carpenters, the bronzers, sculptors, and the goldsmiths, are the creative people of India. Creativity is the fulcrum of the occupational foundation of the creative economy. Now, the creative manufacturing sector is fast emerging as an important job creating sector, but the creative sector has not been duly recognized by the policy planners in India when they are framing the development programs for the country. The ruling elite and the political class necessarily avoiding the Viswakarma community. Viswakarmas are the class people who laid the foundation of human civilization. The Viswakarma craftsmanship is the cultural foundation of the creative economy. Now, the objective of the meeting. This webinar is organized at the initiative of Dr. P.N. Shankaran, the former chairman, Viswakarma Commission of Government of Kerala, Dr. V.P. Raghavan, myself, and Sri V. Rajendran. Today's meeting is a pan-Indian conclave of the Viswakarma community. This meeting is convened at the instance of Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, who is the one-man commission for labor under Ministry of Labor and Employment. He proposed the Essence of India project to be launched for the benefit of the disadvantaged people or the heritage people of India, in which the Viswakarma community can harness the sources of livelihoods to a greater extent. Dr. Bose has categorically stated that he will do all possible help in assisting the Viswakarma community to help enhance their livelihood securities. He is a visionary. In one of our earlier gatherings, he proposed to set up a central Viswakarma university for the benefit of the traditional artisans and craftsmen. 2 days back, he recommended the government of Kerala for opening a knowledge university intended for the research and preservation of traditional knowledge at a webinar jointly organized by the Center for Policy and Development Studies and Swadeshi Jagran Manch on skill development, MSMEs, and entrepreneurship in the context of the Atmanirbhar Bharat. He states, and I quote, "The country has a rich wealth of traditional carpenters, blacksmiths, goldsmiths, weavers, and other artisans whose knowledge will be lost if not passed from generation to generation." Unquote. Today, we are meeting together to craft a holistic framework for enhancing sustainable livelihoods of our people. We aim at disentangling the thread for opening up new avenues for generating wealth. We aim at building the creative economy on the foundational basis of creativity. This pan-Indian conclave aim at seeking collective opinion from the leading personalities among the Viswakarma community coming from different parts of India to formulate a meaningful framework for developing the artisanal community. We may submit the memorandum to the Commission in the wake of the Atmanirbhar Bharat program. I would submit that we may set up the Viswakarma creative sectors in the form of guides as propounded in Agni Purana and Arthashastra. As envisaged, the Essence of India Heritage Project for the benefit of the traditional artisans community, for which Dr. C.V. Anand Bose is instrumental. I would submit that we may introduce the Viswakarma Creative Cluster may be set up in every village for promoting creative manufacturing industries for the development of the people and the nation. With these few words, I conclude my introductory remarks. This webinar is chaired by Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, and I am so much happy to introduce Dr. C.V. Anand Bose as the one-man expert commission, Contract Labor Advisory Board, Ministry of Labor and Employment, Government of India, and the principal advisor to the DPL Heritage Project, eminent civil servant, management guru, housing expert, innovator, writer, and writer, retired from the service at the rank of Chief Secretary and Secretary to the Government of India. He is the chairman of Habitat Alliance in consultative status with the United Nations. He is the recipient of the prestigious Jawaharlal Nehru Fellowship. He authored 40 books. He set up Nirmiti Kendra, District Tourism Promotion Council, and Habitat Alliance. He represented India in the European Council of Nuclear Research. He won 100 prizes, including 15 gold medals during his university days. I would invite Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, to chair the function and deliver the presidential address. I would invite Dr. Anand Bose, IAS, to chair the function and to deliver the presidential address. Over to Dr. C.V. Anand Bose.
Thank you, Dr. Akman, and the co-organizers, Dr. Shankaran, and my young friend Rajendran, for giving me an opportunity to be in this pan-India conclave of the Viswakarma artists. I am so overwhelmed by the presence of the distinguished gathering here. I understand that 2 Padma Vibhushans are here. Ram Sitar, the greatest sculptor of the country, who has given us the tallest statue in the world, the Statue of Unity. And we have, as I understand, Sri Raghunath Mahapatra, another genius whom the nation has honored with Padma Vibhushan. And of course, my very dear friend P.D.T. Achari, who is one of the most well-known experts in parliamentary affairs and constitutional proprieties in the country. As we all know, he has been leading the Lok Sabha as its Secretary General. Even after his retirement, the nation wanted his services to continue. Of course, I don't want to name all other dignitaries who are present here, but I would say when I am sitting before you, I am reminded of what Dryden said about Joseph's characters. He said, here is God's plenty. Here is God's plenty. I think that is applicable to this distinguished gathering as well. I am particularly happy to be associated with the Viswakarma friends here, because my association with this great community of artists and geniuses and visionaries starts from the time when I was a child. I happened to medals of the master craftsman of our village. 6 years back in my memoirs, the first chapter itself is Shankarni Panikan, the master carpenter. I'll just read you a few lines. This was written not when I was anticipating this kind of a pan-India conclave. I said, I had just turned 5 and it was midsummer holidays. Mom pulled me up from the midst of the glorious anarchy of tumults and in the kitchen and announced the verdict. Now on, you will oversee the master carpenter. It is your duty. Thus, I was initiated to the alphabet of habitat construction as a juvenile supervisor to the great master craftsman of our village. In fact, he happened to be the master architect of our village, the right step in default. I will only read some of the revealing paragraphs about him. Mutashari's lesson, that is master carpenter. Lesson 1 happened to be the quadrangular or the famous Nalikatta of Kerala. How came the master craftsman know all this. My curiosity did not have to go haywire, as he himself was heard quoting at will Sanskrit verses from ancient texts, the master craftsman of our village, Shanguni Panikin, as and when required. So that's it. These men of excellence, that is the village craftsmen, these men of excellence have a body of knowledge to stand on. In due course of time, I came across many of them that describe the ancient science of habitat construction, Vastu Vidya, Tantra Samuchayam, Maya Madam, Manisha stipulation. I salute Shanguni Panikan. He would be the most happy to see that I have the opportunity. I am his boy. He groomed me up, and after some time, I could travel more than 50 countries to study the habitat patterns there. I was led into the alleys and bylanes of architecture and Vastu Vidya by our village carpenter, the Mutashari, Shanguni Panikan. It is his revered memory that I dedicate my presence in this august house. Yes, I owe it much to him. All the awards which I got in the field are dedicated to the Mutashari. That's a master craftsman of the village. Now, there is a great tradition behind this. Viswakarma, he is the creator. He is the creator of Brahma. What did he create? He created heaven. He created the palaces of the gods. He created the chariots in Treta Yuga. He created Ravana's golden Lanka in Dwapara Yuga. He created Krishna's Dwaraka. And who created Hastinapur? Who created Indraprastha? Viswakarma. In heaven and earth, it is the play of mastery of Viswakarma which you see. And who are his allies in the other mythology? In the Greek mythology, it is Phaethon, and it is Vulcan in the Roman mythology. You compare the lives and greatness of all this, we will find that Viswakarma will shine our tradition. The springs of our great heritage got dried up because of our sedulous aping of the West. We have to come back. We have to discover ourselves. We have to rediscover the greatness of India, which is reflected. All the temples, all the palaces, who built them? Who won the war? Whenever there is a war, the palace from where the decision is taken to go for the war was built by the Viswakarmas. Who builds the rath of the chariot? The Viswakarmas. Who built the armaments, the weapons with which they fought and won the war? The blacksmiths. You take it, who made the earthen pot from which they cooked and ate after the war every day? Yes, everything is done by the great artisan clan of this country. The worst enemies of Viswakarmas, if I would say, are industrialization and urbanization. When industrialization set in, we discarded the great tradition of the Viswakarmas in our village. They built up the country. They built up the civilization. When a master carpenter builds a house, he is not constructing a building. He is building a relation. He knows that he is building a house for generations and generations of people to live. That was a dedication which he had. And we had in our village, every village in my younger days, the blacksmith, his workshop was a center of attraction everywhere. And also the goldsmith. Anyone who got married in those days, they owed to the goldsmith. All the women, their ornaments were made by him with 100% honesty. The goldsmith in the village, he felt it his duty to see that it's my daughter who is getting married. And that relationship is always there. Where is those relations gone? Those great relations which were built up over the years, which were built up by the centuries are gone. It has to come back. It has to come back. The unseen COVID has taught us the value of family life. Yes, now we are all closeted in the family. We are locked down in the family. We have never realized the greatness of our tradition and heritage. We have to bring back our tradition and heritage. That is something which I am sure that all of you in front of me will be able to do. Ram Sutar, for instance, when I happened to be the head of the National Museum in Delhi. It was an IAS officer who told me about Ram Sutar. I heard about it. She is a painter. She retired as a government secretary. She is a painter with international repute, Kiran Soni. She told me her exhibition should be inaugurated not by the so-called great bigwigs. She wanted Ram Sutar to be made there. And then, learning about Ram Sutar, I took the car. I wanted to see for myself the creation of Ram Sutar. I went to Kurukshetra. There, Ram Sutar's Arjun, Ram Sutar's Krishna. One look at it and I told my wife, this Arjuna will be born. This Krishna can lead. Earlier I had seen Arjunas and Krishnas painted as effeminate, beautiful creatures. I thought they cannot win a war. Have one look at Ram Sutar's Arjun, Ram Sutar's Krishna. See the master in him. He had a vision. He had a vision of what Arjuna or Krishna should be. All great things happen in the world twice. Once in the mind of the visionary and then in the field. See, take any instance for instance. Before Shakespeare put his ink in pen, he had a vision of what Macbeth, Othello, or Hamlet, or King Lear should be. We see the great paintings of Michelangelo on the Sistine Chapel. Before he put brush in paint, he had a vision of what the day of the judgment will be. Similarly, those who build, they have a vision. Ram Sutar had a vision of what Arjuna should be. He had a vision what Krishna should be. It is that vision which has given life to the statues there, to the sculptures there. Yes, I see Ram Sutar and his ilk on a par with the greatest of the great men. During the time of Michelangelo, I was told there was a piece of marble which no sculptor wanted. No sculptor. And they threw it away. Michelangelo took up that broken piece of marble. He could see the sculpture within that. The sculptor can see the sculpture within because of his vision. Then he created the great masterpiece David from that particular piece of marble which nobody else wanted. That is the vision. That is the vision of the Creator. Therefore, I am saying that those Viswakarmas, their descendants, are next to the Creator. They build a bridge, a rainbow bridge between earth and heaven. Why do we forget that? In our stereotyping imitation of the West, if you have lost it for once, let us bring it back. I don't want to take more of your time. I have here the Ainesh Acharya, a young man, a young architect, yes. Last time he spoke about the traditional villages which should come up. I got a beautiful design, fully illustrated, what such a traditional craftsman village should be. I wish I could present it here, but for want of time, I'm not doing that. I'm sure I will certainly give an opportunity for Ainesh Acharya to present it to the nation. We have still the traditions here. See, I was in the National Museum, I said, I also had a Tagore fellow with me. I know what's the worth of a Tagore fellow. Here in front of me, I have Dr. Rahul, who is a Tagore fellow. And of course, in here, Raghunath Mahapatra. Yes, we have great men in this community even now. All that is required, come together, stay together, work together. Coming together is beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. You have come together. Let us keep together. Let us work together. I am sure that day will come.
I am in a
India
webinar.
will rediscover the greatness of the Viswakarma tradition and will bring it back. The world will realize later that India was built inch by inch, brick by brick, by this great community. It is that Rome was not built in a day. India was not built in a day. India was built across the centuries, across the millennia, by the ancestors of those great minds who are sitting in front of me. It is a very timely thing that you have taken. You have organized this conclave, Pan-India conclave. The voice which emanates from here will be heard by the nation. Certainly it will be heard by the nation. And to sum it up, yes, last time when we met informally, I suggested, you all agreed, we should have a university for traditional knowledge. This has been echoed in many places. And now, not only the Viswakarma community, The entire community, the common society, civil society has accepted it. You can grade them as A, B, C, and D. A person, a master craftsman, he may not have a BA or MA, but in his knowledge of what he is doing, his traditional knowledge equips him to get a PhD. Therefore, those who are in the A should be equated as professors. Those who are in the B as associate professors. Those who are C, assistant professor, like that. There should be respectability. The tag of recognition should go to them. They have not, many of them may not have learned in the universities. There is no university which can teach them the traditional knowledge. They got it handed over from generation to generation. That was an intrinsic value. Recognize it. Treat them as professionals on a par with others. Second, as we said, let there be a university for traditional knowledge. And then, coming to the brass tacks, Viswakarmas were at one time economically prosperous. Now not. There are so many poor people. We should give them an assured basic income. We should have a national board for their national social security board. We should give the pension, take care of the health, take care of support them for the marriage of their daughters and other social welfare activities. We should stand together. We should work together. I am sure that a glorious tradition of the Viswakarmas will certainly come back to India, and India will be proud of the Viswakarmas. Led in the Atma Nirbhar Bharat, I am sure Atma Nirbhar villages should be there, where at the center stage should be those who belong to the Viswakarma community. As Martin Luther King said, we shall overcome. Let me look forward to those days when this tradition will certainly be re-established in this country, and we will say 3 cheers to the Viswakarma community. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm looking forward to hearing straight from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ananda Bose, who made a wonderful presidential address, very enthusiastic as well as thought-provoking, and we are looking forward to meeting you further and further for getting greater chances for us. Raghunath Mahapatra, who is the chief guest of the day, and he was the honorable member of parliament, and Shilpi Guru, Arts and Crafts Foundation, authority in stone carving, and member of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, Odisha. Now, I would request.
Sir, he is Padam Shri, Padam Bhushan, Padam Bhushan, Padam Vibhushan.
And he is
all three awardees.
Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan. And
yeah.
I invite Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri and Padma Vibhushan Sri Dr. Raghunath Mahapatra to deliver his lecture. Over to Mahapatra Sahib.
कुछ काम हो रहा है,
Yes.
इसलिए मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। और आजकल देखिए, जैसे हम लोग पहले से हमारा कोणार्क, पुरी, भुवनेश्वर जितना मंदिर है उड़ीसा में, उड़ीसा बाहर में, अभी हमारा उड़ीसा का कारीगर कम से कम 8000 विश्वकर्मा सारे भारतवर्ष में भरा हुआ है, जो मूर्ति कला का काम बनाते हैं। इनके लिए आज जो आपने हम अभी सुना था, अभी जो बात किए थे भाई साहब, वो सब कुछ डेवलप करने के लिए अगर इनके लिए हमारा ये संस्था के स्वरूप से कुछ होगा तो मैं सबसे बहुत अच्छा खुश होंगे। और आप भी एक छोटा सा सर्वे करके उड़ीसा में आके आप देखिए गांव-गांव में कितना कारीगर है, कारीगर इतना है, आर्टिस्ट इतना है जो आप कल्पना नहीं कर सकेंगे कि इतना आर्टिस्ट कैसे है। इधर में कुछ नहीं हुआ, सब गरीब है और कुछ पैसा, थोड़ा पैसा कमा के वो लोग चलता है। और हमारा ये अनुष्ठान माध्यम से हम सोचते हैं अगर आप लोग और हम सब लोग मिलके कुछ करें इनके लिए। सारे स्वामीनारायण टेम्पल में अभी जितना स्वामीनारायण टेम्पल अमेरिका में होता है, यहाँ भी उड़ीसा का सारे मूर्तिकार सब उसी में काम लगा हुआ है। लेकिन ये थोड़ा पैसा मिलता है, कुछ समय सुविधा नहीं मिलता है, इन लोग के लिए कुछ नहीं हो पाता है। और इन लोग के पास में और एक बहुत अच्छा है, जैसे भाई साहब बोला, अभी हम सुना, जो विश्वकर्मा कितना मंदिर किए, कितना कितना बड़ा बड़ा कीर्ति, कितना कितना बड़ा बड़ा मंदिर बनाया, लेकिन बनाने के बाद में इनका कुछ काम आज तक कोई आखिर जो नजर में आएगा ऐसा कुछ काम आज तक नहीं हुआ है। सब लोग हम लोग रहते हैं लेकिन इस सब नहीं है। कुछ कुछ आदमी जो करता है वो बड़ा हो गए, वो तो अलग बात है, लेकिन इनके लिए हमारा इस कारीगर के माध्यम से कुछ जरूर करना जरूरी है। और इसके लिए मेरे को अगर कुछ सहायता करना पड़ेगा तो हम पूरा सहायता करने के लिए विश्वकर्मा समिति के लिए मैं प्रस्तुत हूँ। आप लोग को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आप लोग को बहुत बधाई। आप लोग ऐसा काम करते जाइए, और हो सकता है भी दिल्ली हो, किधर भी हो, कुछ मीटिंग वूटिंग ऐसे हम लोग जब कोरोना वगैरह खत्म हो जाता है, बैठ के कुछ हल फल लेके बैठ के बात करके कुछ करना है तो इसको जल्दी से जल्दी इस काम बहुत देर हो गया, अभी हुआ नहीं। और इतना टेक्निक हम लोग के पास है जो काम बनाने के लिए, मूर्ति बनाने के लिए, सब कुछ करने के लिए, ये सारे चीज बाहर में आना चाहिए। और ये सारे चीज सब करने के लिए हम लोग प्रस्तुत है। आप लोग कोशिश कीजिए, हम भी आपके साथ हूँ। जल्दी से जल्दी ये काम करने से स्वीकार कीजिए, इसलिए हम बहुत खुश हूँ। जय जगन्नाथ।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
महापात्रा जी, आपने हमारा हाथ पकड़ के सरकार में लेके जाना है। यू हैव टू, आपने हमारा हाथ पकड़ के सरकार के पास लेके जाना है। आपका भारत से ही मंत्रालय का निर्माण होगा।
मंत्रालय के लिए राज्यसभा पूरा आपके साथ में हूँ और हर समय रहेंगे, क्योंकि आज हमारा विश्वकर्मा लोग जितना नेग्लेक्ट हो गए हैं ऐसा किधर भी नहीं है। जैसे सारे काम किए हैं भारतवर्ष में, जहां पर भी देखिए आप, सब विश्वकर्मा का काम है, लेकिन कुछ नहीं है इनके लिए बैठने के लिए कि घर भी नहीं है। इतना तकलीफ में है लोग इधर में, आप देखने से आपको आंख में आंसू आ जाएगा, बहुत तकलीफ में है लोग। खाने के लिए भी
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan and Padma Shri Dr. Raghunath Mahapatra for his wonderful presentation and lecture.
You're welcome.
Now for the official welcome speech, V. Rajendran is here. We three people, Dr. P.N. Shankaran sir, Dr. V. Rajendran and myself had been initiating to conduct this, to organize this program. And Sri V. Rajendran is assigned to do the job of official welcome speech. And Sri V. Rajendran is the program coordinator, is the patron of Viswakarma Samudaya Kottaima of Kerala, former National Secretary of Rashtriya Rajya Karmachari Mahasangh DMS, and former State Executive Member of BJP Kerala. Now I would invite Sri V. Rajendran to deliver the welcome speech. Over to Rajendran.
Om Vishwakarmesaya Namah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Respected Sri Ananda Bose sir, IAS, who is chairing this webinar, and all distinguished dignitaries present here in this webinar. My entrusted duty is to welcome the distinguished guests to this function of Essence of India. Before going to my responsibility, let me express my views on this webinar. The aspirations of the community in India. I being a minor part of the community, beg you be the descendants of Veda Upanishad. These Vishwakarmas are not only in India but also all over the world. These Vishwakarmas are believed to be the creators of ancient civilizations, townships and other marvelous temples and monuments, not only in India but also all over the world. Ancient cities and townships like Ayodhya, Dwaraka, Sri Lanka, Indraprastha were the contributions of this community. They were the designers and engineers of chariots, weapons and marvelous sculptural wonders. They were strict followers of the Vedic culture and writers of authentic books on architecture, art, science and space technology. Recently, it was discovered that the ancient 4,500 years old Mayan civilization of Mexico has close similarities with the Indus Valley civilization, and it is believed that the Mayan civilization comes from the disciplehood of Mayan, the great patriarch of Viswakarmas. To doctrine it not that. Doctrine it not that. The American university lives and livelihood of Viswakarmas, financially, educationally, socially, politically, and culturally. The Viswakarmas are one such community who numbers 19 crores, where the builders of the civilization are now estranged to a difficult situation. It may be due to globalization, mechanization, entry of corporate management system, collaboratively named as modernization. Instead of elevating and enriching hereditary professions, it has eroded all the qualities of it and has brought it in the brink of extinction. This disorganized community has been deprived of all backings and still remains unprivileged, jobless, and poor, is bare and a disgrace to our society. The upliftment of Viswakarma community and restoration of their lost identity and status in the society will ultimately result in the progress in the process of nation building under the leadership of our honorable and most respected our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, and will surely make them an integral part of making India a superpower. Now, with your permission, let me go back to my assigned duty of welcoming the dignitaries. The presiding dignitary, Sri C.V. Ananda Bose, IAS, is the most welcome to the auspicious function. Sir, please welcome. I welcome you, Sri Ananda Bose, sir. Please, Ananda Bose. Mr. Ananda Bose, IAS, belongs to our state. He is the one-man expert committee of Contract Labour Advisory Board, Ministry of Labour and Employment, the Government of India, and principal advisor to the DBL Heritage Project, eminent civil servant, management guru, housing expert, innovator, writer, and orator, retired from the service at the rank of Chief Secretary and the Secretary to Government of India. He is the chairman of Habitat Alliance in consultative status with the United Nations. He is the recipient of the prestigious Jawaharlal Nehru Fellowship. He authorized 40 books. He set up Nirmadi Kendra District Tourism Promotion Council and Habitat Alliance. He represented India in the European Council of Nuclear Research. He is the recipient of 31 international and national awards for his outstanding different fields. He was the head of the Supreme Court Committee on Treasures of Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple. He won 100 prizes, including 15 gold medals during his university days, and he is one of our best collector of our state in Kerala, state of Kerala. Then our prestigious man of Viswakarma community is Pridi T. Ajari. He was the former Secretary General of our Lok Sabha. He is a best orator, speaker, writer in media. He is invited to inaugurate the function. Welcomes you, sir. PDT Ajay sir welcomes you.
Thank you.
Our chief guest, the important personality, Dr. Jagannath Mahapatra, Honorable Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha. He won so many awards, international awards, Shilpi Guru Arts and Crafts Foundation Authority in stone carving and a member of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, Odisha. Another important eminent personality, Jagdish Panjal, the Honorable MLA of Gujarat from Nikol constituency in Gujarat. The guest of honor, Sri Yashpal Verma, the former Minister of Jammu and Kashmir and former Vice Chairman of Jammu Kashmir Advisory Board for Welfare of OBCs. Welcome you, sir. Guest of honor, Sri Ram Asre Viswakarma, one of our community. He was the former minister in UP, National President. Was the president of UP State Backward Commission. Welcome you, sir. Then one of our prestigious men, Padma Vibhushan Sri Ram V. Sutar, globally known Viswakarma, the Indian Shilpi, the creator of the statue of our prestigious statue of the unity of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in Gujarat. He has sculptured more than 50 monumental for his sculpture of Mahatma. He, Ram V. Sutarji, you are most welcome in this function. You are one of our prestigious Viswakarma man, and we are proud of you. Sir, welcomes you, Sutarji. The keynote presentation, Dr. Ishwacharan Viswakarma, Chairman of Uttar Pradesh Higher Education Services Commission, Professor of Ancient Indian History, Archaeology and Culture at Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, Kharagpur University, member, Indian Council of Historical Research, member of Rajaram Mohan Roy Library Foundation, Kolkata, member of National Museum Advisory Board, executive member of Uttar Pradesh Hindi Samsthan, Lucknow. Sir, welcomes you, Dr. Ishwar Charan Viswakarma ji, welcomes you. We are welcomes you. Special lecture by our prestigious man from Tamil Nadu, Dr. Dakshinamurthy Stabadi. He is the hereditary Indian traditional architect and sculptor, expert committee member of the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department, Government of Tamil Nadu, managing trustee of Vastu Vedic Trust founded by Padma Bhushan Dr. V. Ganapati Stabadi. He authored the book Ulu Ezhuthukkal, the Scripts of Chisel. Dr. K. Dakshinamurthy Stabadi ji, we are welcomes you. We are most welcome in this function. We are very glad to meet you, sir. We are welcome. Then, yes, Dr. P.N. Shankaran, one of our prestigious inclusive development. He welcome you, sir, Dr. P.N. Shankaran. He has submitted the report in time, but the UDF government led by Umman Chandi and the LDF government led by the Pinarayi Shankaran welcomes you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Paper presentation Sri K.P. Umapati Acharya, one of our eminent personality from the temple town of Tamil Nadu, Kumbakonam. He is eminent Vedic Shilpi, eminent Vedic and Shilpa Shastra scholarship with specialization in temple architecture and sculpture. Welcomes you, Sri K.P. Umapati Acharya ji. Welcomes you. We are proudly welcomes you to participate in this session. Topic Viswakarma community essence of knowledge management. Then another prestigious, I welcomes another prestigious man of the Viswakarma community, Mr. E.P. Rajappan. He is the eminent personality of Viswakarma. Spacecraft, he is the one of the notable spacecraft technocraft, Faculty Center for Air Power Studies, Aerospace Company, Bangalore, Karnataka, retired from central government, expert in designing and constructing airports. He was deputed to UN in recognition of professional competency. He established the ISO certified aerospace company in Bangalore. He is our prestigious personality of our Viswakarma community. I proudly welcomes you, sir, Colonel E.P. Rajappan, sir. You are welcome to participate in this auspicious occasion, sir. Welcome, Sri E.P. Rajappan, sir. The paper presentation, Sri V. Vishwanathan Ajari, one of our eminent personality of our community from Chhattisgarh. He is from Kerala. He is now residing at Chhattisgarh. He is the managing director, Vanasan Sangut and other Artisan Development Foundation, established Sri Viswakarma Mahasangh Artisans Welfare Organization, and a national convener of All India Artisans Trade Union, member of CG Khadi and Village Industries Board, Chhattisgarh. Then one of the personality, Sri C. Mohanan Ajari. He is from Kayangulam, Kerala. He is the National Vice President of Akhil Bharatiya Viswakarma Mahasabha and formal National Secretary General of ABVM, New Delhi. Welcomes you, sir, C. Mohanan Ajari, to this function. Welcomes you.
Thank you.
Then the paper presentation, Sri Dulu Chand Karel, President Bharatiyar Swarnakar Sangh Bengal. The topic status of Hereditary Goldsmith and Gold Control Act. I welcomes you, sir. I belongs to the goldsmith community, so I welcomes you, sir. And
Thanks.
to the
Thanks a
function.
lot, sir.
Then the paper presentation, Sri Arun Kumar Viswakarma, National President, Artisan Welfare Organization, Delhi. His lecture related to the problems of hereditary genetic artisans of India. Then speech of Professor Nagarao Kashinath Panjal, the Professor of English, Professor of English and President of Viswakarma Community Organization of Maharashtra, working as an OBC brigade. Then welcomes you, sir, Professor Nagarao Kashinath Panjalji welcomes you to this function. Then speech by Sri Pavan Kumar, the manager of Lalit Ashok Bangalore, welcomes you, sir, Pavan Kumar, the manager. I welcome you cordially in this to participate in this function. Thank you. In this, before concluding, sir, before concluding my words, I have a humble suggestion. Let this occasion give an opportunity to mobilize and formulate a full-fledged commission under the auspicious leadership of full-fledged commission under the auspicious and chairmanship of Sri C.V. Ananda Bose, IAS, who is also a scholar in heritage studies to uplift this present deprived community to its previous eminent status. Janadam. Jai Viswakarma.
Thank you. Thank you, Sri V. Rajendran, for the welcome speech delivered by you.